Emma Perkins is responsible for customer experience at Experian EMEA, and she's led their predictive analytics initiative. Here's what she said to me about her journey with CX and with Spectrum AI.
I think really it was about making the insights more relevant, getting on the front foot. It felt to me that the survey was backwards looking, our client feedback, we were reacting to it, but we weren't really driving and moving forward. And we were very dependent on that survey feedback. And it felt to me that in this day and age, in a much more data-driven world, that there was an opportunity to go beyond survey feedback to gather those client insights. And in terms of buy-in and the importance of voice of the customer and MPS, it is very apparent throughout Experian. But we felt that there really needed to be more. We were asking for further insights. We always look to be innovative. So how could we take that next step? How could we take that next jump to really take our client insight to a whole new level that would really help us, establish and meet the outcomes that we wanted to realize? I could see an awful lot of value from the new insights that we were getting from those survey responses. But outside of that survey period, that interest, that focus starts to wane. And everyone then starts looking towards the next survey and what's going to come out next, as opposed to having some insights that they can use that day, that week, that month to keep them focused on our clients. Sometimes people don't quite know where to put the CX function. They don't know where the CX person goes because it's been sat there independent. It's not been linked into the operational metrics of the business. But no one's really thought about, we measure lots and lots of things, but what's that really doing to customer experience? And nobody's linked the customer experience to client value. And the role of customer experience teams has sometimes been, tick in the box, we're doing the surveys. Customer experience, to really be successful, needs to be integrated. It needs to be part of the business. For me, I really had to think about the role of surveys and how they really fit into the organization. I thought at the time that we could just get rid of client surveys. There's always going to be a role. We need to get that client feedback. In terms of being able to predict outcomes based on data, that's not a new concept. I think everybody bought into that concept. It was the idea that based on somebody's a client's experience, we could start to predict their MPS. And it was about finding people and finding those open doors who were interested and who could see that. The other thing that we really started to focus on was the business impact. If we could start to predict this, it would really give us a very clear view on where the business was going and what was going to happen. We would have greater control of those levers. We would have better and deeper insights and really allow us to focus on what was truly important. What we're saying is these two things work in parallel to really take your customer experience insights to the next level. And that to me really crystallized it, that it was the level of insights that we could get, but also turning them into really different use cases. So we could really start to think about, for our sales directors, what do they need? For our service guys, what do they need? How can they use this to really help them on a day-to-day basis? But if you really want to be driving transformation around the customer experience, then start to look at the data in a whole new world. Start to look at those predictive insights. And don't be content with just surveying once or twice a year. Think about how you can be getting insights daily, because that's what you need to really drive the business. I think ultimately what it did do was it really showed how an organization could be brought together and we could really start to see the impact of all the different functions, of the different geographies on the client experience. That to me was the real sort of light bulb moment where lots of people thought, actually, this is really good, because there's no longer that silo mentality. We understand how we all work together to deliver that customer experience. I thought, this is it. This is the next stage. This is where I want to go. This is where I want to take the MPS program for Experian in EMEA, for certain.